Ghetto.
Hi everybody and welcome to a mid-week Ghetto vlog, and we are kicking off straight from where we left on Sunday's vlog with the overhaul of my games room, the 3.0. So on today's episode we're going to be getting into phase 2. Now if you haven't seen Sunday's episode, I suggest you go and watch that first. That documented all of phase 1, but I'll give you guys a quick catch up just in case you haven't seen it. So this next step is going to be controversial, certainly going to be more polarizing than what we did on Sunday, because it's going to come at the cost of certain things. We're going to create space, but certain things are going to have to leave the 3.0 potentially. So yeah, I'm even more nervous about this stage than I was the first stage. But I think in terms of what it's going to give me longevity-wise, clearly I collect video games. Collecting's a disease, I've always said that, and it's not one of which there's a cure, so I need more space to hunt more stuff. But we're going to get into exactly what I'm going to be doing very shortly. But first, we've got to fly to a local DIY shop because there's a couple of things that we've got to pick up. And also, I've got to get rid of all the cardboard that we amassed from Sunday's changes. So let's fly out and then let's get back. Right, we made it to Wicks. That's the tip run done, and yeah, I think I've wound up on the right aisle straight away. Trunking. A lot of people keep asking me since my game room tour how my games stay at the end of the shelves. Sometimes I forget that obviously you get new viewers and stuff, because I've explained it many times on the channel, but basically I just take self-adhesive trunking like this, measure the right amount of where I want the games to sit, stick it on, cut it to length, and then it stops the games from falling back, keeps them nice and neat at the front of the billy bookcase, which is how I think it looks best personally. But obviously with us having all the new stuff, we need to buy a lot more trunking because there's a lot more shelves that need it. But yeah, tip run's done. Dads, you know, you have to do a post-Christmas tip run. Is it me, or is every local tip manned by people that are somewhat aggressive? Where does this go, mate? Cardboard! This one's got metal and plastics, mate. Where does this one go? Bulky items! Sorry, pal. Anyway, there's a couple of other things I need to grab, and then we're going to get the trunk in, and then we'll get out of here and get back to the 3.0 and take a look at phase 2. And we're back. So, on to phase 2, and phase 2 involves the PlayStation 3 stroke Xbox 360 area, which is currently covered in a load of mess. But yes, this unit here, now you may have noticed I've kept the 2 half billies, and I've also got the 2 risers still there in the main house out of the way. Now my plan is to extend this unit. So this unit, which comes out into an L shape here, my plan is to put the 2 half billies and the risers, so that it basically comes out to a very similar length, because I've already measured it, that the Xbox 360 kiosk did with the controllers. So it comes out to about here or so. So it creates a real nice, I think of it as a library effect, you know, like a row full of games. You'll have ample room with which to walk down. Since we removed Master Chief's arm as well, it's not as congested in that corner. So it's not going to be an issue. There's going to be plenty of room to walk past it. And it's going to be loads more space, right? Because front and back with the risers, that's a lot more space. Plus all this new space, I'm going to be in collecting heaven. I'm in game room rearranging heaven. So the plan, as I say, is to extend all of this. I'll probably keep this area to Xbox 360, and I'll probably keep it double stacked, simply because that's how it works with the riser. The riser has to stay there, right? And it's an awkward size. Putting a shelf there, you can't put any more games in, so it doesn't really benefit you to have it as two clear individual rows, as I've been able to do with that. So I'll probably just be able to put a lot of these Xbox 360 games all in a row and extend it out, and obviously it'll create a lot more space below 360 for Xbox One. We've also got the Xbox 360 Classics down there and all the other stuff that I wish I could collect but I don't have space for. So yeah, my mouth's salivating already at all the new things I can start to collect. But there are, of course, issues. Issue number one. So this fantastic topper, which Kev made for me. I love this thing. It's one of the highlights of the room. Let me just turn it on, actually. There we go. So yeah, I absolutely love this thing. I've loved this ever since I first saw Kev's room with it, and he was kind enough to hook me up with one. Now, it's an issue because once I add it, obviously this stops, and it's a big, and I'm guessing expensive thing for Kev to produce. I'm not going to ask him to make me another one or get rid of this. What I'm hoping that maybe he could do is just add a piece onto it. I know it won't be perfect. We'd have to tape this up to stop any light bleed, and we'd have to get it exactly right with the measurements. Also, there'll always be a crease, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. That's something which can be covered with various different collectibles. But it would be nice to be able to extend that light out. It might look a little bit odd without it, but we'll get to that in the fullness of time. But yeah, that's the first issue, is the extension of the topper. Now, of course, the next issue, and a rather big issue, is the Xbox 360 kiosk. This is where things get a bit, shall we say, polarizing, because I don't know if this is going to have a home any longer in the 3.0. Wah, wah. A sad day indeed. I love this kiosk. I really do. I don't want to get rid of it. I don't want to sell it. I'm not going to jump into anything for now. It's going to live in the conservatory. I say that as if Mrs. RG knows about that, but she soon will. Yes, I'm not going to rush into it, right? Because who knows? I might not like any of these changes. But in an ideal world, we'd fit this in, but eventually you have to accept that we haven't got the space. Getting Kratos in here was a feat of ingenuity in itself. I don't think we're going to be able to keep the 360 kiosk in here as well. But as much as I love this thing, as much as I do use it, it doesn't get used often. And comparatively to what all that shelf space will give me as a collector, as a content creator, yeah, and just what I can do with all that space going forwards, it's more to me currently than how nice a piece this is and how good it looks here in the room. Also, whilst I do think it looks great, it's not particularly attractive from the side, and it's always side on because obviously that's how it works. I'm not even completely giving up on the idea of fitting this in here somewhere, so we will address that later on. But for now, the biggest challenge immediately is we're going to have to move this somewhere out the way so that we can get the units here, get them lined up, get the risers on them, and then we can really get an idea of what it's going to look like. But I think before that, we need to get tidied up a bit, clear some space, and yeah, let's try and get some of these games put away. To be honest, it's just nice to have shelving areas free to put games away. Obviously, these games aren't going to be staying here, but so often in the past when I've had like new pickups that I've not filmed yet, or we've not had time to do a montage, they've just lived on the floor and I've moved them around to try and get them out of the camera shot. So it's nice for them to have somewhere. And now the awkward job of moving the kiosk, you can see now I've realised I've made a mistake, because if I went behind that unit more towards the new area, I'd never be able to get it back past the new, bigger area once the billies are in. So it's just going to have to live there. It's a very big, heavy, cumbersome thing. And hopefully I can get a friend round in the not-too-distant future, or we can get this removed and taken out of the 3.0. Right, so with the room looking a bit tidier and the area looking a bit cleaner, it's time to move the units from there to there. One done. Done. I mean, it's done. I don't know what to think. It's either the best thing I've ever done or the worst in here. I'm not sure right now. I think because there's so much stuff in the way and it's such a big change and the kiosk is still here and the room's still a mess, I can't really see it, I can't judge it. I don't know if I can live with it or if I can work with it or anything right now. What I need to do is do similarly to what I did on Sunday's vlog. Have a night to myself, just cleaning up, pottering around, putting some games in it, trying if I can to move this kiosk so I can like step back and take a look at everything. Like I've purposely not shown you guys much of it because I want to wait. I want to get it sort of looking better, get stuff in it, and then really get a good idea and good feel of what it's going to be like in the room with this like this. Because yeah, it's very hard to gauge as it is with all the stuff in the way. So, plus I love doing it. I love nights like this. So any excuse, right? So I'm going to put the kettle on, get YouTube on, and spend a few hours, you know, pottering around, doing what game rooms are for, pottering around in, moving stuff around, and enjoying them. So, yeah, hopefully I'll check back with you guys in the morning, and hopefully I'll be smiling. We'll see. Retro Ghetto. Good morning. After what was yet another very late night. And even though it was a late night, I still haven't moved a single video game. But I had a very eventful night moving, heavy lifting the big stuff, the furniture, and I think somehow I found the perfect solution. I did not think I was going to be able to have both of these units and the Xbox 360 kiosk, but somehow I've made it work. I don't know how I keep finding room in here, but yeah, let me show you what we've done. So along this back wall with the newly curated full-size billies, we move across to, bang, Xbox 360 kiosk. Now, this is perfect in many ways. It fits absolutely perfectly in that area there. There's still room either side. You can stand there comfortably and play it. Also, I mean, it was the only sort of boring, dull, collectionless area of the room was the door, right? So, again, perfect. Now, the issue is, I obviously need to be able to access that door. That's where the gym is. You know, I come in and out of there very regularly to use the gym area. This is a very heavy, very cumbersome piece of kit, as I've discovered over the last day or so of continually moving it around. But shout out to Ghetto gang member and friend Graham. He's been instrumental in helping me. He also has a kiosk, and we've sort of been going backwards and forwards about solutions. And what we've done is we found, they're called trolleys, trolley dollies. You see them for like industrial use, garages use them and stuff. Basically like a little platform with wheels on it. We found the perfect one or two, because once you put two together, it'll be the perfect size, height, dimensions, everything for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on two, essentially, trolleys. And then it should be easily accessed. I'm going to make sure it's high quality. I'm going to make sure they're good quality wheels so that I can easily move this. So that when I need the gym area, I can come here, pull this out, walk around it, go out, come back in, push it back, no problem at all. Somehow, we've made it work, right? Obviously, that's only a theory. We've got to buy the trolleys to put it into practice, which hopefully we'll do on Sunday's vlog. But I'm delighted with it. Like I say, it was the one area of the room that wasn't being utilised, that door area. And it looks great. Now, you might be thinking I'm still not showing you the entire room. I've still not shown you these new units or anything. That's because we still don't have games in. Now we can take a step back and look at everything perfectly. What I want to do now is spend some time getting at least some games in here so that I can show you guys the vision, right, and what it's all going to look like. So I'm going to crack on, get some games put in here, and then I'll show you the room in all its new glory. So again, I want to clarify, none of this is set in stone. Absolutely none of it. We're going to spend the next few weeks, if not months, rearranging pretty much every game in this room, and I can't wait. I absolutely love it, right? One of my favourite things to do is come in here and move games around, and I'm thinking already I might even switch this entirely. I might create this as the red area, because the red games just give a lot more uniformity, and now that this is like front and centre, I think having that real uniformity of red would look great, and then having all this cool stuff Xbox related behind it would look good. Plus, obviously it's framed by Master Chief and the Xbox 360 kiosk. It would then put the PS3 stuff with Kratos, so from that point of view it would make sense. There would, however, be the Nintendo sign up there, which I could currently put the switch stuff above it if I kept that red, but that's all schematics. It's all for another day. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. But yeah, like I say, I think when you make a change this big, you've got to give yourself some time to get used to it. But one of the big things that's imperative for me is that nothing's changed over here. I've said it before, 99.9% of the time I'm in this room, I'm sat here. This is my view. That's not changed. I now see it as my gaming area and my library. That's how I look at it now. I separate this room into two, and having this vast library behind me, yeah, it's just a nice feeling. And the more I'm in here, the more I look at it, the more I get used to it, the more I think I made the right decision. And obviously for me, the most exciting thing is the possibilities that it opens up. There's so many things that I would love to collect, but space hasn't allowed me to. There's consoles that I don't currently collect for. There's toys, there's Lego, there's so many things that I've stopped myself from collecting because I just didn't have the space to put it anywhere. Now we've opened up so much more space in here. The avenues for me to collect going forwards for the next couple of years are massive, and honestly I'm so excited at the thought of what I can do going forwards, and subsets and all kinds of stuff I'm not going to talk about in this video. We'll get to it another day, but yeah, I think that alone is enough to make me think, yeah, this is the right decision. And again, I think this will all look so much better once it's properly organised. I'm very much a perfectionist when it comes to shelf rearranging. If you watch the channel, you'll know it, right? We've spent 2.5 years putting these shelves as they are now. It's a lot of work. So it's not something that I can just do in a couple of days, right? So yeah, we're going to get all that looking perfect, and obviously we'll get a topper put on here. Kev, if you're watching, help me out, mate. If we can extend that topper out, I think that'll just be the icing on the cake. Having all of that center console lit up, again, just creates more of a focal point out of it. And I don't think I'd leave that clear. There's so many options as to what I could put on there. That potentially could be a big Lego project. I've been speaking for weeks, if not months now, about this Lego project I've got coming. And that was something I kind of put on the back burner because I was worried about space. Well, now I can go ahead with that. And I'm not talking about the battle scene with my minifigures. This is something else entirely. So I think I'm going to go full steam ahead with that now as well. So yeah, big changes, but definitely not to the detriment I thought it might be. I said at the start of this video how this was a risk and how it was going to polarize, because I thought I was going to have to get rid of the kiosk. I thought it was going to look a lot uglier than it does. So I think, for me personally, it's a win, plus the options it gives me going forward. So let me know in the comment section. I'd love to know what you think, good, bad or indifferent. Let me know your honest opinions below. But as always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch. We had to do this midweek vlog because I couldn't do any sort of new projects in here with the room in the disarray that it was in, right? I'm one of them people that needs a clean space to have a clean mindset to go on about new projects, and now the room's looking a lot clearer. We can continue forward with some fantastic projects that we've got coming to the channel. So if you're not already, hit the subscribe button, get involved. But as always, play your games, keep it retro. Thanks everybody, in a bit.
Lock into the retro ghetto. Come and have a look around the ghetto. We got Sonic and Staples settle. Lock into the retro ghetto.
Okay, post-credit gameplay, and we are still cracking on with Days Gone. I'm determined to get both the story done for my first completion of the year and the Platinum Trophy, and I feel like we are not far away at all. A couple of sessions, I think. So I'm not sure if I've shown you guys this, but I think since we last played, I've had a couple more trophies. We've got the Marauder Camp Hunter, which is basically 100% of all the Marauder camps on the game, and Go Kick Rocks. Now this is one I was worried about. You have these anarchists in the game that you have to kill. But there's these like little stacks of rocks that they sort of put out as their little vigils. But there's nothing on the game to indicate where they are. So you just have to randomly come across them. Thankfully there's a mission quite late on in the game where there's a lot of those in the cave. And yeah, I just sort of went around the cave, cleaned up every single one. And I think the last one in the cave was my 12th one. So I was very happy to get that trophy done because that was one I was concerned about. So as you can see, we're on 85%. And yeah, we're not doing too bad at all. So take away the platinum. I think there's just 4 left to do. Ambush Camp Hunter, which is just all the ambush camps. Same with that. That's just all the infestations. That's just all the World's End missions. So they're all 3 of the same kind of thing. And then there's that one, which is kill an enemy with every type of crossbow bolt. We've not unlocked the final crossbow bolt yet, and unlock over 75% of collectibles, which I'm hoping will happen by completing these 3. So pretty much just a case now of playing through the game, getting through it, and then we should be at the Platinum Trophy in no time, he says. Let's go.
Corporal St. John, I've got an urgent assignment for you. Sort of assume that's why you radioed me to report in, sir. One of our patrols has been wiped out. I sent another patrol to find them. And all of our men have been accounted for. But one. Private Gomez. Yeah, is she alive? I don't know. Tracked from the site lead in all directions. I need someone with your unique skills to go to the site and check it out. Okay, I'll do what I can. I know I can count on you, St. John. Dismissed.
Okay, let's go. I'm pretty sure this is the last of sort of, you know, the standard go and kill people, rescue people missions. I think the story after this, or the mission after this, is like a big closing chapter in the storyline. So yeah, let's go and do this. Let's go and kill some people. Oh, that's not a good sign, is it?
What's going on here? Militia bike. Gomez. That's gotta be hers. More blood. Oh god, I hope it's not all hers.
If it isn't already obvious by now, if there's any young children watching, Days Gone is not the game for you. That was good timing, because I'm about to start shooting people in the head. See if we can sneak up on him. Nicely done. I try and do this one stealthy, but usually going guns blazing, so I've got this new gun that you unlock towards the end of the game, Rock Chuck. It's like a real automatic weapon, but it comes with a built-in suppressor. So you should be able to just start gunning people down without alerting too much attention until people start screaming. Show's over, boys. Let's kick in the back door and go nuts. Let's get the big gun out. Oh! Blow him up, actually. There we go. Kaboom! Still got that back from the last playthrough we did. Somebody up there shooting at me. Alright. Oh, don't be reloading now, me. Headshot, boom. Just said they're all dead. Clearly not, mate. Where's this last one? Oh, there he is. What inventive way can we use to kill him? Should we set him on fire? I always like to kill the last one with something unique. Have it in the face. Burn, baby, burn! Disco Inferno! Nicely done. Okay, that's Gomez rescued.
St. John,
On to the next one.
never thought I'd be glad to see your ugly mug.
After that scrawny ass yours, it looks like you were trying to leave it all over the campus.
It wasn't all mine.
Okay, so the next mission on the game basically advances the story to a point where I get locked out of this entire region. Ugh, let me deal with this guy. Let me deal with this. Kill too many of you now. Let me finish my narration. Thank you. Right, so as I was saying, the next story mission advances me to a point where I get locked out of this entire southern region of the map. So I need to make sure I've got everything done, and there are two things I need to do. These little Nero test sites, they're called. They're usually like little cabins that you have to figure out like a small puzzle and to get access to. So there's one there and one there. It's something that I need to get done for the trophy anyway, so it's no point in me taking the risk of getting myself locked out of this area. I'm sure you'll be able to come back and do it. But anyway, we're trying to find this one here. Sorry. This one here. But as you can see, it's on its own little island. So we need to figure out how to get to that. So let's see if we can do that now. Whoa! Damn. Okay, I think we might have found a shortcut. Yeah, that's what I meant to do. Shortcut, baby. Let's reverse off a cliff, that'll be fun. Oh, gosh. It's turned into a trials game. One that I'm not very good at. Right, so it's taken me as far as this. Okay. Hopefully then. I'm assuming it's not too deep. Oh, I can't make that. No, wait, go. Right, so somewhere there's got to be some sort of jump. How in the world do I get to that? I can't see anywhere where you'd have to jump off it. Interesting. Unless you could just go off here at full speed. Should we try it? Oh, I don't think this is going to work. Oh well. Let's give it a go, shall we? It'll make for interesting viewing if nothing else. We're going to fly down here as fast as we can. With all of our NOS on. Yes! It only went and worked. I'm as surprised as you are that it was that simple. Right, let's find this Nero test facility. And then that can be another tick done. Because it's one that's hard to access, you don't have to mess about solving a puzzle. The puzzle was getting to the island itself, so... yeah, here we go.
Another Nero injector.
So basically these are just like super drugs that you inject and it enhances your stats, but because this is New Game Plus mode, I've already fully enhanced my stats, but we'll take that. But in order to get off this rock, we're going to have to do it again. Let's go. Let's go. Woohoo! Land on a dead body. Lovely. Okay, and that's the final of the Nero injectors done. Just been to this site up here in these mountains. Got what I needed. And that is the entire south of the map cleared. There's only this storyline mission left to go, which just carries a warning with it that I won't be able to access this area of the map again. So yeah, I think that's going to be a storyline which is going to take us right to the end of the story of the game. And I think we're going to do that next time. So thanks everybody, as always, for taking the time to watch until this point. In a bit.